Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the topic of this hearing is rather difficult to grasp, the complexities that converge here. As Americans from sea to shining sea watching this thing, and we don't understand how this stuff works, man. But we understand this sort of a comparison. And Americans, you know what we want? We want somebody put in jail over this. That's what we want. This is the kind of thing that we run into, like family to family, and it's such a wall of impossible complexities that we face through the prism of medical fear. My wife has MS, and twice a year she has rather complex treatments, and all year long just to go through, evaluations and testing to determine if her treatment is working well. And thank God it is working well. But let me tell you, it's been quite a journey, because the medications change and the doctors are determined to prescribe the best medication. And then it becomes like this quest of hope that you can potentially get insurance coverage for the pharmaceutical that's required for the treatment. I don't gamble. It's never been something that has attracted me. I've been to Vegas many times on business, but I don't gamble. I don't bet on football or anything else. But that twice a year is very much like my wife and I are forced to engage in some kind of a lottery for her medicine that she needs. And this is the kind of thing that I don't have an answer for, but I can tell you we're going to find it. We're going to seek a legislative solution to this. And you PBMs out there, man, get your retirement in order, because the end of your era of pushing Americans around like this is closing. There's no excuse for this. I have a question that's been given to me by a very experienced doctor that's a dear friend in preparation for this hearing. I'm not sure who would address this question. I'm thinking Mr. Baker, but I do not pretend to be an expert in this. So just the four of you listen to this question, and the best one answer, please. Why can't pharmacy manufacturers contract directly with pharmacies? What is it do you understand that question? And you're nodding your head, Mr. Asasi.
Yeah.
That gives you the green light, brother. Please answer the question.
I think what's important to say here is, remember that underneath what you're describing, and I think everyone's in agreement, this cannot happen. It is not fair to the American public. The vast majority of money that is flowing through the system is landing in the pockets of big pharma, and we've got to say that. And the reason that we've got PBMs is because they are negotiating a better rate. So the reason that we have these conglomerates is because the government can't negotiate a fair price. That's what the problem is. So all of this is about one simple fact. Big pharma is charging way too much money for their drugs, and we're trying to get a better price. And now what's happened is that PBMs, which are just a middleman.
But let me just ask, because again, it's not my area of expertise. Yeah. A regular American says, well, if Big Pharma sets the price, how can it be this low on the left and this high on the right?
Well, in part, this is a generic. They make most of their money for name brand drugs, and they get 12 times more in profit, Big Pharma does, than the PBM. PBM gets 2%, Big Pharma gets 12%. So, I'm sorry, it gets 24%. So, at the end of the day, we cannot hide the fact that underneath all of this, it's because big pharma is price gouging us, and we're trying to come up with some mechanism, like a PBM, to negotiate a fair price. But at the end of the day, it's because the government is not negotiating price, and the rest of the world they do. In the rest of the world, they're paying 2 or 3 times less at launch. That's what this is really all about.
I thank you for your answer, Mr. Chairman. My time has expired, but I'm going to advise all the panelists that my office is going to submit questions in writing to each of you. These will be questions that we'll use to help us develop a legislative response to this nightmare Americans face. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.